Unalaska Airlines terminal, really nice. And like a 172 over there. And I'm gonna stay, that's our whole short line right there. So we're just gonna skirt around this. And over here is a little museum. I think it's a World War II, yeah, historic area there. The Aleutian World War II historic area. Visitor Center here on Unalaska. So I've just left the door cracked open for this taxi ground part because the cabin gets stuffy, and you leave that door cracked a little bit, you get a little bit of air in here. You just want to be sure we close it before we take off. And I like to, when I stop to do my run up, I like set the brake here. I like to be able to see the approach into the runway, so if there's any traffic coming, I'll see it. So let's go ahead and check our flight controls here. And you can actually see these as we move them. Make sure they're correct, and rudders, and everything looks good there. And we're going to go ahead and do our run up. So what we want to do is we'll close this one right here. In fact, we'll go ahead and close our door. Let's see, we got to pull it tight and lock it. A little two-step process there. Got a lot quieter. That sounds better. All right, so we're going to come up here and run our engine up to 2,000 RPMs. Okay, and let's check our mags. Just a little bit of a drop. I think about 125 RPM max. And they're both running good. Sometimes you'll get one running rough when the plugs are fouled. And check our carb heat, make sure it's working, and it is. There's a little bit of drop there, and we're going to cycle our prop through. I'm using the control on my joystick. And since we're still a little cold, we'll just go ahead and give it about 3. There we go, see another airplane coming in. And we do want to come in and check all our gauges. We've got suction in the green, vacuum pumps operating, oil temperature's in the green, oil pressure's good, fuel pressure's good, and we're indicating full fuel, 60 gallons, plus what we have in the wing tank. So we'll go ahead and bring this back. I should use my actually throttle instead of the mouse, just so I've got them synced up there. There we go. Sometimes I'll pull these controls with the mouse, and then when I go to use what's on my throttle control, they're not synced. Okay, and let's go. We're going to use 10 degrees of flaps for departure, so we'll pull them back. This is called a Johnson bar here, so it's just a direct link, and I want to be sure just one one setting. It's a direct link to, becomes a float plane. Oh, he's doing a missed approach. And I think we could probably hear him on the radio if we cut him on. I'm glad he's doing a missed approach. Okay, flaps are set, trim is set, so we're about 1 notch nose up. That looks good to me. And our prop is in full, and mixture's rich. Let's bring that in. Carb heat's off, and fuel we've got set on the main tanks there. And let's bring our auxiliary fuel pump on, and doors are latched, seat belts fastened. Let's go to mode C there on the transponder. Let's bring our pitot heat on, and we'll get these lights on here, strobe, and this other landing light comes on. And with that, we are ready to go. It looks like the windshield might be fogging up just a little bit. Let's open this door for a second. could cut on. There's a defroster over here. Oops, not there. There it is. Got the cabin vent. There's a defroster. I'll go ahead and cut that on. Can open this up. Sometimes, yeah, when you're breathing in here, these windows will fog up sitting on the ground. So that should clear them up there. Now let's pull this closed. There we go. I have had a door come open before on takeoff, and it looks like an airplane coming in right there. So I think we can beat him out of here if we're quick. So let's do that. Dutch Harbor traffic, Comanche 59250, departing runway 31 Dutch Harbor. Yeah, I don't know if that's an airplane out there or not, but if it is, he's a good ways out, and we'll be gone before he gets here. Okay. Go ahead and give her full power. Airspeed's alive. Gauges are in the green. Right rudder. Uh-oh. Some problem with carpet. Let's see, got those on. Mixtures got somehow leaned out. Okay, well, we got it. We got it. Let's go ahead and get those flaps up. And our gear did come up. All right, we won't let that ruin the day. Must have accidentally pulled that mixture out somehow. And I thought we had maybe some icing. Bring the carpet back in and let's continue our climb out. Turn over to our own course heading 027. And in fact, we'll go ahead, let's see, we've got our heading bug set. We can go ahead and put it in heading mode. Cold Harbor traffic, Comanche 59250, departing the pattern to the north Cold Harbor, Dutch Harbor, I meant to say. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and flip over here so we can contact center. And you notice this is pointing to the station, and so, but we're going to gain some altitude before we turn over to intercept that. So I'm going to go ahead and contact center now. Anchorage Center, Comanche 59250, off Dutch Harbor, climbing through 2.5 for 7,000. You can see that we're being interrogated here. Put a little nose up trim. 7,000 for 250. Okay, so we're going to 7,000 feet, coming through 3,000. Yeah, an engine doing that on takeoff is a get your attention. And since we're going through 3,000, I'm just basically kind of rough leaning till we start running a little rough as we climb. And I know one thing that we definitely need to do that we didn't bad form. I think I got a little distracted with the engine. Let's get our power set back to 24 inches and 24 square, basically 2,400 RPMs. Double check that mixture. There we go. Okay, so what we want to do now is let's go ahead and turn to that intercept heading. And that intercept heading is going to be 057. So I'm going to slide in here just a little bit closer and go ahead and set that over here on our heading bug. So we're looking for 057. And then what we're going to watch for is this relative bearing over here to be 30 degrees, which will be 150. So this compass card will turn here, but we've just got it set. So we're just looking for 30 degrees relative bearing to the station. And then once we have that, then we'll turn on course back to 027. So right now we're about 40 degrees. And just looking at our DME, we're 4.8 miles away from the station. We're pretty close to it, so it won't take long to get there. And we're on our way. So yeah, fun. We just yeah, let's go ahead and let's get rid of our landing lights. And we cut our fuel pump off. Okay. And we'll increase the power as we climb here a little bit. And yeah, that was fun coming out of there with engine sputtering like that. That will definitely get your attention, but you know, what are you gonna do? And we're gonna land in the water if we had to land, the gear up and ditch, but I was concentrating on getting things going again. So check the fuel, and then I realized the mixture was pulled out, and I thought maybe we might have been getting some icing, but that wasn't the case. So you can see we're on our relative bearing of 30 degrees, so we're going to go ahead and turn over now. And when we get to our on course heading of 027, we should see this pointing directly behind us at our 6. And if we keep it there, then we're going to be tracking away from the station on the 027 bearing. And we're going to do that for 79 miles till we get to Morton. And that's going to take us a little bit of time. And we're coming through 6,300 right now. So we're going to kind of go ahead and level things off here in just a second. Come to cruise. I'll have to, in the replay, see how I thought I had put that on, but somehow or another I accidentally pulled that back. I don't know how. It was an accident. Didn't do it on purpose. And let's get this nose trimmed over. Start picking up some speed here. Level off here at 7,000, and looks like we're staying pretty stationary there, which tells me that we don't really need to apply any wind correction. And when we get there at 7, I'm going to go ahead and engage our altitude hold. Now we may need to add some more trim. It'll let us know. In fact, it's telling me now. It was saying trim down, but as we increase speed, I'm sure we're going to have to add a little bit of trim there. So it'll say trim up, trim down, and everything's good. We're 10 miles out, level at 7,000, and it's saying trim it down, so we're going to give it some trim down. So the trim on this thing is up here, and it's really slow. This little increments, but we can get what we want. So we're indicating about 23 inches manifold pressure. I'm going to go ahead and start bringing our prop back for cruise setting, and I'm going to use 1800 RPMs. Just reading, it looks like from other people that have flown this airplane, you see we're running a little rough in here. If we bring it back to the 1800, the course pitch there, it tends to run a little smoother. And just looking at our fuel flow over here, indicating about 12. And see if we can lean it out just a little bit more. 12 gallons per hour. And that's what I flight planned for, but probably get by with about 11 there. And you can use the exhaust gas temperature gauge to do this. You can use the sound of the engine, the roughness of it, to lean it. But we're going to call that 11 gallons fuel flow good there. And I think that's got us pretty well taken care of. I'll double check our checklist here. Got our taxi lights off, fuel pumps off, and our mixture's leaned out and power set. So we're on our way to Coal Bay. Thankfully, scared the heck out of the passenger who's invisible. And I was just thinking, I wasn't worried about dying. I was worried about, I got to start this video over, but I don't know, we might have just saved it. And the only thing was that we didn't pull. Normally, after takeoff, we want to pull our power back, but the last thing you want to think about doing when your engine's running rough is to pull the throttle back. But yeah, it just turned out it was the mixture there. Who knew? So it'll be cool. We'll go back and look at the replay, see what caused that. But until then, I'm going to break the video right here. And when we come back, we'll do some fun facts. And then we'll prepare for our arrival into Coal Bay. So for now, thanks for joining me from FS MaNiA. We'll see you on the next one. So long.
A2A, expect approach clearance in about 5 miles. Report when you have anchorage airport inside.